Hello and welcome to How Are You Holding Up, a mental health podcast by the depressed for the depressed. I'm Chris.
And I'm Lindsey.
Lindsey.
Yes.
This year sucks.
This year sucks. We are currently podcasting together in the same room. Usually we do virtually, I guess you call it.
Yeah, even before like the coronavirus shenanigans, because you moved into your happy place in
the mountains,
the very far away from all of this mountains.
Yeah, and here I am visiting Los Angeles.
The day right after riots.
I think we're on the 6th day of riots today.
Yes.
We're recording on a Sunday.
Mm.
So I'm sure you guys, I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, you know what's happening. It's all over the world.
Yeah.
Protesting, the whole thing, and, you know, all along with the backdrop of COVID-19.
Yeah, I mean, this, we missed last week's episode.
Why, Chris?
I fell asleep. I literally have been, I've been so exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally. I fell asleep at like 9:30 that day, or that evening.
Missed a birthday,
like, hangout sesh. And, missed a birthday hangout sesh on, like, Discord, and the joy of getting to record last week's podcast. So yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We know we're already dropping out every other week, so having 2 weeks in a row was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
We did send out some
Patreon gifts. Thank you.
Yeah. My brain. There's a lot going on. I've been just binging on news, which is one of the things we're going to talk about. But so thank you to our patrons. We were going to have some shout outs, but wait for the end, I guess, for that.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end. You guys are patient enough as it is.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk today. We just wanted to be here with you guys because nothing we say is going to fix, cure, end anything that you're experiencing right now. I think the best thing we can all do as a community is just be here for one another. Talk about maybe a couple things that might help, that are helping us, some stuff that we're just experiencing ourselves right now. Mm-hmm. And gonna go from there. Yeah,
so this is gonna be definitely one of those little more freeform, whatever kind of floats our fancy, conversational type episodes. And starting off, I mean, yeah, this year sucks. I think I'm sticking to my guns. If you hear a dog panting, that's Bonnie. She's being noise. This year is rough for a lot of us. If not, you know what? Fuck it. This year's rough for all of us, guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of my friends have lost their jobs or their businesses. Yeah. And some people I know have gotten sick, and some people's families members have been passing away because of COVID-19. Mm-hmm. And there's so much unknown and angst and rage going on that I feel like if you have any empathy at all, it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
And there's this kind of mass mourning that's happening right now while we're all trying to survive. We lost 100,000 people in 3 months in the United States of America to COVID-19.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. It's kind of like, how do I even enunciate the thoughts in my head? That's probably one of the biggest problems, honestly, for this is we have in our lifetimes never experienced this much devastation this close to home, this much in a row to this many people.
Yeah.
Like the Australian wildfires at the beginning of the year, that the almost World War III or whatever the hell, that little blip on the radar.
Yeah.
The tragedies just kept piling on and on and on, and trying to figure some mental gymnastics to just go through the day-to-day, the here and now, the whatever, trying to maintain a status quo is ridiculously impossible at times.
And I think a big thing for me, and maybe this is my naivete or privilege, but I think, I guess I was just like, well, if we can just get through this presidency, and if we can just get through this thing, like maybe then it'll get better. Maybe something amazing will happen, something beautiful. And really the most beautiful stuff that I've been seeing is just this incredible response to the absolute horror that we are all experiencing with everything. You know, the people who work through the coronavirus when they could have taken days off, but they went in to help. You know, the protesters out there who are being pepper sprayed, and there is people who are buying just jugs and jugs of milk to, you know, throw on people's faces to help. The medics who are trying to set up tents, the cops who are trying to, you know, in Flint, Michigan, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the cops took off their riot gear and they said, we are angry too. What can we do? And the protesters said, march with us. And so they did. And they were all hugging and crying and marching. And that's the kind of beauty that I'm seeing. But I guess I just kept waiting for some leadership. And really, there hasn't been one main leader that we can all rally behind. And that's something that we're missing. And having these awful tweets being posted by the president of the United States, how embarrassing and disgusting and shameful it's been. And I know so many people who did vote for Trump and are now disgusted by the fact that he is dealing with the things that he is dealing with. And then some people aren't. And like, how do we find the grace to still have certain people in our lives? How do we handle so many levels of...
How much indignation can we take on a daily basis? Like, how you cannot go day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour, being filled with rage and indignation, and then being surprised either when people are rioting.
Well, and then the video comes out of a white woman showing that she knows that if she says a black man is trying to attack me, that man was going to be arrested and possibly horribly.
Yep.
Thank God he got it on. I mean, thank God we have the technology we do now, folks, because we're able to film everything.
Yep.
It's horrible that we have to even do that, but thank God for that, because now hopefully something will change. I do want to let you guys all know that if you are going through a depression or mass anxiety every day, you are so not alone right now. I'm sure you are noticing that there more and more people are posting about mental health than ever before. The pharmacies are running out of antidepressants and anti-anxiety.
Yep.
Really hard to get your hands on medicine if you haven't already had a prescription.
Yep. I just actually had my my psychiatrist appointment yesterday.
How'd that go?
We are doubling my prescription on Effexor.
Okay.
So...
And Effexor, if you folks don't know...
That is the antidepressant. That is the straight up just antidepressant. That is the SNRI, I believe. So that combined with my Wellbutrin, combined with the Adderall, I'm more or less just like... My brain chemistry is getting supported as supported can be. And I have noticed the dip pretty hard the last few weeks. It has been way less effective, and it's hard to determine whether that is 100%, you know...
Just physical or due to the fact of the world.
I literally, the only way I've ever been able to put it lately has just been waving my arms around and going, this... Like, because of this, like, everything in this world right now, I've been trying so hard to see the glimmers of hope, the glimmers of light, the ability to know that despite the darkness that is affecting so many people, and how horrible it is for people who've been treated like garbage, like the entirety of their existence. It's so utterly devastating. And I want so badly for that kind of Star Trek Next Generation future where we all understand and we all work together and we get what we want. But because there is no want, everybody has what they need. But
here we are.
Here we are.
Things that have helped me a little bit lately is just taking a moment away from my phone and looking at the person who I'm with. So if it's my boyfriend or my little sister or my dog, and just letting myself experience how much I love them. And that sounds maybe kind of sappy, but when you're constantly reading all of this crap and you're seeing these videos of cops going through and macing everybody, and you're hearing about people dying from COVID-19 and everyone's wearing masks everywhere and you don't see people's faces and you can't hold your friends. I mean, like, taking just a breath and loving and letting yourself feel that is important. And if you're too depressed to feel that, exercising. And if you're too depressed to exercise, wrap yourself up in something real soft.
I have my robe in the corner right now. Normally it's kind of draped around my chair, but that was the thing that's been helping me the most has been absolutely like just disconnecting as much as I can. I dive headfirst into my work. That is what I do. That is my coping mechanism for everything.
And we're so lucky to have work still.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have it, I would be doing other things work related. Like I would be building a closet. I would be tearing apart my garage. I would be doing any number of things to keep my mind occupied.
And I think if I can take a moment to, I don't want to interrupt, but I just want, for those of you who can't do that, like, I'm the opposite. If these things are so overwhelming for me that I can't build a new closet, throw myself into work, it's very hard for me to do that kind of stuff. So give yourself space and grace to understand that just because somebody copes with what's happening right now by creating gardens or learning how to bake bread or building a new whatever, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong if you're not doing that. And if you are doing those things, then just know that even though you're probably exhausted by how much you're having to do, you're just trying to cope. And that's okay. You can give yourself grace to not be being able to relax with your partner or friend. Yeah,
that is the thing. My methods of distracting myself are ultimately more or less, if I dig deep and I recognize what they are self-destructive. I will work until I'm exhausted. I will do everything to the nth degree to self-detriment. And that is that's just a fact that I accept about myself. I am no good without stimulus. Which is why every time we've done like a sensory deprivation tank, it's always been so bizarre for me when I come out of it and I actually feel good. Because that's the opposite. If I were to just like sit and stare at a wall for a good long time, there's something wrong in my brain at that point. Because that means the darkness is winning. Because I'm not doing or I'm not thinking. I'm just there and existing. And I know that right now that's probably the most that some of us can do is exist. And that's okay. It's okay to just exist right now. It's okay to not be out there on the streets fighting. Because we're not all capable of doing that.
And there's other ways to support.
Yes.
For me, it's been paramount that I feel like I'm still a part of it. And I've been watching a lot of videos, posting some things that I think are helpful. Not just memes, because I don't think always memes, they're pretty emotionally charged. So I've been trying to post things like, here are the top 13 hoaxes that are happening right now during this, like misinformation, or, like lawyers' numbers for people who may be out there protesting. I have posted a little bit of rage because I want to let my circle know that I am there with them emotionally experiencing that, but I can't march. physically I can't march. I have too many physical problems. And with COVID-19 and family members and everything, I'm not going to do that as much as I would want to. And I have in the past. Yeah. It's been something that I'm not going to do. But if you can go to a cleanup, that's also equally important.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're gonna have some links in the show notes this week for places to donate to.
Yep, that's another thing. Supporting with money.
Yeah, if you can support with your, just donating your time, your energy, money, whatever it is.
Even if it's just finding a news source that isn't mainstream, there's so many lovely independent news sources of people who are basically just funded by the people and they're for the people and they go out with their GoPros or whatever and they film what's going on and they don't have an agenda. They just show what's happening. Even if you just watch a video on that or whatever, But first and foremost, take care of yourself in any way you can. And a lot of that will mean stepping away from your phone, social media, news.
Yeah. And it's we get it. It's hard to.
Oh, totally. I've been binging it. This is as much for me as it is for you guys. We are not therapists. We're not end all be all. We are struggling every day. And there are times where I feel like I should go back and listen to some of our episodes because some of them we did a significant amount of research or we were in a really good place and I fall off that place or I forget those things and I realize, wow, my self-esteem right now is shit. Or, wow, I'm really coping with this person as in a codependent place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I say these things, when we give you guys this advice, it's because we've gone through the trenches and we're still going through it and we're with you. We're with everyone right now.
Yeah. It's so funny. I there's so much in my head. Like,
you have the brain fog, you can't sort it.
Well, I mean, even like without the whole like brain fog, which that is there. It's just there is too much to sort through. Yeah. There's way too much. And I can't even begin to like really get everything out. I tried writing the other night all of my thoughts and feelings in terms of like what's been going on, how people have been handling it, what they can do. And I got 5 lines in before I just went, there's too much. There's too much wrong to put it all in one place.
I think it's difficult too because you're going through your own personal stuff.
Yeah.
Every one of us is going through our own personal stuff, whether it's, just trying to find another job or a friendship ending or something as small as, God, I can't even think of something small right now. Everything seems so big. I'm not going to say that. Anything small. Yeah. Nothing is small right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, even something as simple as...
Can you think of something?
I mean, I'm thinking like...
Too many dishes in the sink?
Yeah. Too many dishes in the sink. I mean, oh no, I gotta go get gas. Like
all of this is becoming overwhelming because it's just one more thing compounded.
Yeah. Every single straw on our horse's back of our brains, it's mounting continuously. And I know that we're not alone because y'all are out there. And you're listening to us right now, and you are not alone either. So, we're going to just keep doing the best we can, as hard as that may be. Or we're just going to do the worst we can.
And we'll somehow get through it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just try. Speaking of people to thank,
we've got a few special people who donate to our Patreon, and it means a lot to us because it helps us keep up the website, helps us keep motivated with...
it gives us our hosting.
Yeah, and I've been trying to figure out some merch. I know that we've had some requests for sweatshirts, a t-shirt request, and a couple of new sticker ideas.
Yes.
So it's just nice and fun. If we ever did hit a certain number in terms of money coming in, we would start just donating it. We're not doing this podcast to make this a living. This is purely as a community.
Yes. Which, by the way, apparently Patreon is doing some sort of a sales tax thing soon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to
cross that bridge
when we get to it. But either way, a special thank you to our Patreon patrons: Alicia, Esther, Jennifer, Kevin. You guys are all amazing, and we love you. You're wonderful.
It means a lot to us, guys. So thank you.
Yes.
And we will be talking to you all very soon.
Yes. As for us, follow us on Instagram at HAYHU Podcast, like the Facebook page, Patreon,
any social media, and we'd like hearing from you guys. So if you have anything you want to talk about, we are possibly winding down this podcast for the first season here. Episode 100 is coming up, and at that time we're going to revisit what we want for the future. So if you guys want to hear anything discussed, any experiments tried, we do know some people who have tried ketamine infusions and various other options. So if you want to try something or talk about or interview someone, please let us know in the comments or just email us. So
yes. Mailbag at howareyoholdingup.com.
Yes. And as always, don't tell us to just get over it. Stay safe, you guys.